I'm going to be working on modeling and texturing this switchblade from The Last of Us. I think in this video we'll try to get the modeling done. It's not going to look exactly like Ellie's Switchblade, but it'll be, kind of close. It'll be our version of it. So this is the reference image that I'm using. I'll see if I can find that for you if you want to follow along. Otherwise, you could take a screenshot of this. I've just moved it back on the y-axis and sort of set my 3D cursor right there. So we're going to give this a try. So this is my method of doing it. There's a lot of different ways that you could do this. So I'm going to start off by bringing in a cylinder, and I'm going to open up the properties, and I'm going to use 24 vertices for this. Rotate 90, go into wireframe and scale it. And what I want to work on is this back piece first. So I'm just going to try to get the approximate dimensions of this. And that's going to be close enough. So I'm going to border select this, and I'm going to pull it back before it curves. I'm just going to change the scale of that a little bit. Alright, so I got that there, and that's fine there. I'm going to press E to extrude, come out to where it starts to curve, and S to scale. I mean, the diagram's not perfect either. The diagram's more perfect than what I'm going to come up with. Extrude out to about the middle of that point, and S to scale it up to there. I'm going to come out to around there and scale it down. We'll put some other edge loops, and one more time out to there and scale it down quite a bit, like that for now. Control R to drop an edge loop, and S to scale. Control R, S to scale. Do another one over here. I'm going to scale inwards this time, and then I'm going to Shift Alt and click that and just pull it back a little bit. Press 2 for edge selection, so it's just that edge selected, and Control B, split and make it 3. Like that. The problem is this bolt right here never goes perfectly, but alright, I'm going to take this and scale it down pretty small and just push it back a little bit. I'm going to shade smooth. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to press I to inset and get rid of that face, and I'm going to go Control 1 for one subdivision, and I'm going to drag an edge loop up here to make that sharper, and I might consider some other edge loops. Let's see if that one messes us up. I kind of don't mind it. Maybe I'll look at these and see if they could come in. Alright, maybe we'll go with that. In fact, I'm going to look at getting rid of one of these and see if that's probably just fine as it is. Now I'm going to take this, and I think I'll scale it. How do I want to scale this, in the Z or not at all? Let's see. It's kind of flat this way, so I'm going to scale it in the Y a little bit, because we're sort of looking at a side view, right? If it was, I can't even get it the other way. All right, good enough. All right, so I want to make the handle part now, so I'm going to Shift Alt and click one of these edges, Shift D to duplicate, pull it out, P to break it out, and we have that, and it's approximately the right size, but I'm going to be mirroring it, so let's just focus on that. 3 to look from the side view, or sort of the end view, and 1 for vertex selection, and I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to take these 2 vertices and I'm going to pull them in because there is a little bit of a gap, but I'm going to flatten these out, SZ, and just sort of make them go horizontal like that. And then I'll go ahead and I'll put a mirror on, but I'll probably shut it off while I do this. I'm not sure. Put it in the Y and slash key, and we're going to work on that. So yeah, I will take that off. Might take the subdivision off for now. Okay, so for this I'm going to E to extrude. I'm going to pull it up to here. I might not do the bendy part like that. We'll see. If I want to do that, I might do that. Alright, we could probably just live with it just straight like that. So let's do this. Let's come in here and Control R and drop an edge loop to near the end, not quite at the end because I'm going to be insetting, And this one, I don't know where it is. I'll just go to the end of this. I'll just go there. Good enough. All right. So with those in there, I'm going to press 3 for face selection, and I want to select those. It's going to be mirrored on the other side, but that's okay. So I've got those two selected. I'm going to press I to inset, pull this in like that. Go back into solid view, and I'm going to E to extrude and pull it in. And I think I'm going to get rid of those for the moment and think about it. Let's go ahead and put subdivision back on and shade smooth. And then we'll come in here and I'll go Control R there. Control R there, they're in the same position. Shift Alt and click both of them, and then Control B and pull, but roll my mouse back so I have just edge going to the left and to the right, and just sort of straighten those out like that kind of thing. And I will also Shift Alt and click that. I'm going to pull it further in, and then Control R with an edge loop and bring it out. That'll just help support everything and make it a little bit nicer. And I don't think I want that going off into space, so I think I will Shift Alt and click that, and we'll put some faces in there, but I'm going to use face grid fill, and then one more time an edge loop, and that goes all the way across, and Control B, and one more time. That'll just make it even nicer like that. Okay, so I take this and I put the mirror on. We got one on each side, so we can have that button on each side. I don't know if it's supposed to be or not, but that's the way we're going to do it. Okay, and then you can always take this if you want. We'll leave that. Okay, my 3D cursor is still right there, so what I'll do is I'm going to bring in a UV sphere, make it as low as I can get away with. 12 and 12 is probably fine, and in wireframe, we'll border select the bottom, and if I say box select, that's the same difference. Scale it in the Z to flatten it out a little bit, and then Shift Alt and click there, E to extrude, just give it a little bit more length to it, and then rotate X 90, G to just move it, S to scale, get the size that we want. Let's see how that looks. Well, let's get it to cover the actual hole. And I'll darken this in later. Let's try just shade smooth. If you really want it to go all the way, you can just pull it down in a little bit further and say that's okay. Does that look? See, I see the other side here. I didn't even look at this picture, and it doesn't have it on the other side. But it's so much easier to mirror things, so I'm not going to worry about it. I hope you don't mind it on both sides. If you do, then you can figure out a different way. So that's okay. I could take this and select that vertex and go Control plus a bunch of times to expand my selection maybe to there, and then go SY and just sort of flatten it, pull it in a bit, if you want it a little flatter. Okay, now what I thought I would do next is duplicate that, pull it along here, pull it up. I'm just not crazy about this. I'm certainly not going to do that indent thing. I'm not going to bother with that. And let's say I had that there. Let's break that out. P to break it out. And see if we make a bit of a change, if we can live with this. So select that vertex and Control plus. That's 1 time, 2 times, maybe 3 times. X vertices. 2 for edge selection. Shift Alt to click. E and S. Come in a bit. And then let's go E. Come back a bit. S to scale, F to make a face, and then Control R just to bring an edge loop up here to sharpen that up. And I guess I should be looking at the size of this thing and, just seeing if it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be all right. What I could do, though, just for shading, is I can just go I to inset and just pull it in a little bit. Just helps the shading a little bit. So we got that. I can mirror stuff onto the other side later if I want to do that. It does look like that one's on the other side. And again, I realize that's not inset into there, but whatever. You could obviously much easierly do this in Substance Painter. I won't worry about those ones right yet. Maybe we'll do this one. Maybe for that, maybe we do need a new thing. So I'm in object mode there. Okay, I'll bring in a new UV sphere 12 and 12 again. I'll slide that down and scale it. And let's get rid of the bottom. Border select. Let's take that rotate X 90. Okay, I guess we got to do this. And let's just see. I think that still might be a little bit too round. I don't know. And sticking in. I think I'm going to flatten it just a little bit. Push that in like that. Yeah, I can always control one and it'll look a lot better. And you know what? Maybe I'm just going to do that. Maybe I'll take this and maybe just pull it in a bit. Good enough? Okay. All right, so do we want to do it like this? Let's see. If I wanted to, I could select here and I could shear that way. I wonder if can I shear from here? Okay, so scroll down here. Use your mouse wheel to scroll up and down. Find this thing that looks like a chalk brush or an eraser. Select that. Let's see if I just do this. Let's get a little bit of an angle there. And then go back to this one here and move it forward. Hope that doesn't cause me any trouble later. All right, well, we're sort of committed to it now. I mean, that's as good as I'm going to get. I don't need to, you know, do the roundness. So I'm going to duplicate that and pull it out and break it out. And now what I want to do is I want to come back to this piece itself. And I want to just focus on this. And what I'm going to do is we're going to, I know it's rounded at the end, we'll deal with that. Shift Alt and click that edge and Shift Alt and click the bottom edge. And I'm going to bring them in, E and SZ, and pull them down so that something could go in between there. We don't have to fill up the whole end really. So I'll do that because you're never going to see in there very well. And then I'll just bring an edge loop up to sharpen that up. And of course we got the mirror on, so we're seeing it on the other side. And I'll do the same here. I'll bring one down to sharpen that up. I mean, I could bring another one up here to, if you want to get rid of that. I'm not going to see that though. Okay, so there's that. And I'm also going to, I think I'm going to have to make a face and Control B. Oh, that looked terrible. And roll my mouse up. We'll have that. And you'll see, you know, we'll have this part here, but that's okay because that's going to fit with this. So I'm going to just select this and this. Actually, just before I do that, I'm going to drag one more edge loop down just to crunch that in there so it's nice and crisp. I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm just going to slide them forward just a little bit, GX. But I do want a bit of a gap so it looks like it, you know, some dirt will go in there. And that's what that is looking like. I could maybe come closer. In fact, this edge loop probably could go in a bit more. And I could bring an edge loop up like that and that make that look even crisper. So I think that's a good enough connection. We'll deal with that end in a bit. Let's move on to this. Let's turn off the mirror and the subdivision for the moment. And I just want to have a look at this. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so this is coming back here. Yeah, it's not a very nice end yet, so I'm going to start from around there, press 1 for vertex selection, and I'm going to start extruding up and leaving spots for these little wing-like things. So I'm going to press E to extrude, pull up to about here where this one will start, and then E to extrude, pull up to, I guess, there, well, where that one will end. It's a little more complicated when it's on an angle, I'm finding. I haven't done it. I didn't do it on an angle yet, so we'll see. I'm going to go around there. And then I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to come out a little bit more to this thing, and then I'm going to see if I SX0, if I can straighten this, just pull it out to there. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. E and S to scale. Actually, let's bring it forward to there. And I'm going to pull this down like that, kind of. And maybe I'll scale it out a bit more. Okay, to there, and then I'm going to extrude out to here. Okay, so far so good. Now, I want to edge selection, Shift Alt and click this edge, and I want to make sure they're straight. So I'm going to press SY0, and then I'm just going to pull it out just a little bit more so it sort of lines up, you know, with this GY. So I got both of them right, and they're relatively straight. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. Now, so let me just check this one. I could do that and just build it off there instead of going all the way back to the end. Or maybe I'll drag one edge loop just down there far so I don't have to go to the very end of this. So I take those, let's try this to make that top one, and we'll deal with the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to press E to extrude, pull up. That may not be completely flat, so I'm going to press SZ0. Yeah, that straightened it out better. Go into wireframe, look from the front, and vertex, and yeah, wireframe. And then just start border selecting points and pulling them in. See, that I don't need that one there. That's a little bit of overkill. Maybe I can take this whole edge and just slide it in a little bit. All right, I'll work with those. So yeah, I'm just going to grab stuff and G, just kind of line it up. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be hopefully close enough. Okay, so I'm going to grab those, E to extrude, pull it up. I'm just going to press G, slide them sort of over, and then these two I'm going to slide in like that. And I think I'll drop another edge loop in there and grab these two and pull them in. Just get a bit of a nicer curve. And these two maybe out a tiny bit, and you know, like that. And maybe this one can come out. All right, we'll just make it. E to extrude, pull it up. G. Get one side and then get the other side. Kind of have a little bit on an angle. And doesn't have to go up too far. So we can do the curve. Okay, another one. This is looking a little bit straight to me, so it definitely takes tweaking. Yeah, all right. Well, let's see how it goes. E. Let's go up maybe one more. And for this, I'm going to, let's see, maybe this one is going to leave its partner now a little bit. Do that. Maybe I drop another one in there. And a bit hard to see. I feel like I want to put one down the middle. I just want to see. Yeah, that'll be okay for both of them, actually. That should be fine. So take that and pull it up a little bit. Keeping in mind there's going to be a subdivision on there. Of course, when you're looking here, you can see better what you're doing. It's like I couldn't see before, actually. I want to undo that. And that's the benefit of being in wireframe, though, to get through all of them. Let's see what that would look like with the subdivision on. Okay, and shade smooth. I'll have to put some edge loops here or there. I mean, it's not bad. And so I think I'm going to live with that. So what I'm going to do is come in here, 3 for face selection, and C for paint select, or circle select, or whatever the hell it is. And I'm going to get all of these, but I don't want anything else. Let's go ahead and get rid of those first, make sure I didn't lose anything. And then this, I think this, right, this, all these ones up here. Am I right? You know what? It might be easier to select the vertices just because I had them so tight, it's hard to tell. I'm going to X vertices and see if I get a nice edge that just the outer edge is all I want. Okay, I think that worked. Now I'm going to be bringing in an edge loop here, so let's just see how that impacts that. I think it's going to be okay. So yeah, I'll be doing another one here. I'll do something there. Okay, let's work on the bottom one next and see how it goes. It is weird. I could have straightened those after the curve, really, but I didn't. I didn't think of that. So, all right, let's see. What is it? Am I using all of these to make that? I don't think I need this one, really. I think I could probably do it. And I don't have a lot of room to put another edge loop in there. I think I'm going to try to do it, or do I want to? It's just so far off. Well, just like the other one, might as well. All right, whatever. E to extrude, pull it down. SZ0, go into wireframe 1. Yeah, so far away. I'll pull that in though, and I'll pull that to there. This one might be a little funny. Oh, not that. Yeah, maybe once we get it going, it'll be all right. Okay. Let's make sure we got all these ones. E to extrude, pull it out. I can scale in the X to sort of line these ones up. And then this one, yeah, once we get on track, we'll be okay, I think. Let's try that. E to extrude. G, and grab both of those in G. I can come to there and I can put another edge loop in there if I wanted. So I just want this kind of flowing into the middle roughly. Let's drop one more in. I don't know that it's really necessary, but just to get that curve. All right, let's go with that. You extrude, come up. You can also rotate. You know, might make it a little easier. Yeah, we're still getting there. Start simulating the curve. Let's see if one more is all we need. Let's bring it up to there. Bring this in. Actually, I have to go up to there. I'm not sure actually. Actually, I could be wrong. I think I'm going to go back to here. I just want to have a look at that. Okay, it's not bad. This, let's see if I throw it in there. I mean, I think that'll probably do. Although I could probably you can spend as much time as you want getting this as beautiful as possible. Let's go with that, and let's come in here now in face selection. I wonder if it's easier if I turn that off. Get rid of those. And look, let's see, where am I? Control 1? No, I can't see that. Never mind. Just don't delete anything else. I'll go back to this. Okay, is that just what I need to get rid of? Faces. Okay. Let's turn the subdivision back on. That's what I'm coming up with. Now, I want to make sure I'm selecting, I'm shift alt and clicking those. I want to scale Y 0, make sure they are in line, and that looks pretty good there. Okay. Okay, so what I'm thinking I would do for the end, you know what, I might just have to make a face. I need to focus on this piece here. Grab this, F to make a face. Now, shift alt and click that, F to make a face, and select this face, this face, hold shift, this face, and this, and cross your fingers. Control B, see if we can give it the littlest bit of a bevel with 3. I think we did it. That means this becomes straight and not rounded, and that's the way it's going to be. Okay, that's just the way it's going to be. So let's now come back to this one. It's a little complicated to fill the end when it's on an angle, I'm finding, with that sticking out. And so I'm going to pull that back, and actually I'm going to turn on snap to vertex and just pull it back in line. And I want to look at this one as well, so that they're pretty much in line. In fact, I think I need to scale X 0 and then bend it. Sorry about this. It's one of those things. And I'm now going to shear it again. Similar to that. Could probably work with that. Or maybe we can still shear it. Looking, there we go. Let's focus on this. And let's see if I can fill it and bevel it. I think we can, and I think we did. And so this end, I just need to recap that. And that's going to be okay for what we're doing. Okay, so let's take that and have a look at the mirror. So yeah, so that was a little messed up at first. Things were not quite lined up, but I think they are now. Let's put something there. Let's take this maybe. Shift D, pull it down here, and push it in. I don't think it looks that good there, although we could angle that. Let's look Control 3 and just angle it and make it work for us. Right, just to have that, and I can put a slit on there in Substance Painter. I'm going to do these other ones in Substance Painter, although those two, I mean I could, but I could also do it, I suppose, in Geometry. What if I take this one and just see? Because I think that's all we're going to do in this video, and I'll do the blade in the next. So let's just take this and just drag it over somewhere. I don't know where it goes exactly. I see we'll have too much of a gap there. Scale that. Do I have one there? No, I don't have one there, so I need one there. And that's a little bit rotated. Let's look at Control 3 again. Yeah, it's rotated. Just straighten that out. And looks like I want it rounder than that, but yeah, okay. Let's do it that way, I suppose. Push that in. Maybe doesn't really need to be that long, I guess. So I can take this. Yeah, I suppose that could work. Just to have a bit more detail on there. And then we'll do one more up here. This one we probably will rotate. Yeah, okay. Control 3 again. And I'll go in wireframe and just kind of look at it. Goes along like that. And I think we need it to come in. And maybe we'll look here. It's not bad. You know, like that. It looks like I took my bolt from there, so I'm going to take this one. I meant to just copy it, not steal it completely. So I'll do that one again. Sorry about that, Mr. Bolt. And that one I actually want flatter. I think I'm going to have to switch to normal. Scale in the Z so it's in the right axis. How's that? Not so big though. Nope, I don't want to do that. I'll come back to global. Just select this one. Control L, S. I just want it a little smaller. All right. If that's what we are going for, I'm going to take all of these things, including this guy, and I'm going to Control J to join them, which means I guess I lost my subdivision, which is fine. I don't really need it. And I'm going to take those, and I'm actually going to mirror them onto the other side so that the back side looks the same. And that's the way I'm going to do that. The only thing we're going to do before we finish is this. I should have done a long time ago. Oh, it is all blue. Isn't that great? And take that and hide that. And what we need to do as well is take this. It'd be a little easier if these were separated out. I'll break them out so I can take this and this and just move it along a little bit. GX. I do want a small gap. Okay, I'll take this. I'm going to delete the mirror and I'm just going to join it to that, which already has a mirror on it. All right, so let's see how this looks with another matte cap. I'm going to go for silver just to check, you know, the overall shading. And it looks all right. And I often use that one to check shading and overall. And we'll come back to there. All right, so that's what we got so far. Then the only other thing we need to model is the blade and a couple of other little pieces, and then we'll take it into Substance Painter and texture it and see how it turns out. All right, thanks for watching.